How you guys doing today? It's Anthony Gangi, host of Tier Talk. A while ago, I did an episode on the differences between police and corrections. And one of the main differences is the power of the uniform that we wear. That first impression, that power of authority that's derived from the uniform. And when I come back from our sponsors, we're going to talk about that difference. We're going to talk about the importance of uniform, don't get me wrong, but there is a slight difference between the power that's derived from wearing that uniform for those that work in corrections and for those that work the streets. And I'm going to talk about that difference when we come back from our sponsors. Guys, as always, the show Tier Talks for you brave men and women that work that front line. So please, if you haven't, subscribe, interact, engage, comment, share, and hit that bell. That bell's going to notify you every time I post up a video. I stand by for our sponsors.
I wanted to attend a university that had an intelligence program. I wanted to look at problems different. I wanted to increase my critical thinking abilities. AMU offered those avenues to expand. Obtaining your degree as an adult, you're actually paying yourself and investing in yourself. You can't put a dollar on it, it's priceless. It's something that can never be taken away from you.
American Military University. Learn from the leader.
Being a corrections officer takes its toll on even the strongest individuals. The constant need to perform at the highest level, putting your life at risk in a hostile environment, and the mental scarring of traumatic experiences. 31% of corrections officers show symptoms of PTSD, and 66% of people with PTSD also suffer with a substance abuse problem. The Transformations First Responders program is specially designed to help veterans and officers heal from the grips of addiction and PTSD in a comfortable, supportive, and serene setting. You are not alone. If you have questions about the services we offer, give us a call at 866-762-8454 to get more information on this affordable and life-changing program.
Thank you guys for listening to our sponsors. You know, I had a great conversation a while back with Keith Helwig, who was retired corrections captain and currently still working as a police officer. And we talked about the differences and similarities between corrections and police. And it was in an effort to show people that corrections is law enforcement on a national level. So let's just have a topic. Let's just discuss it because, as I said, I always feel that corrections is law enforcement. That hasn't changed. So I thought by discussing the similarities and the differences, it would be for great dialogue that would hopefully kind of make it out past just me and Keith and just get people just discussing the differences and the similarities on a higher level. And one of the topics in regards to the differences and similarities came with the uniform, the power of the uniform. And as the dialogue progressed, there was a slight difference into how that power is derived, both in the correction profession and in being a police officer. Now, one of the things that definitely is similar is that we want to have that uniform because it promotes uniformity, correct? That's hence the word uniform. We want to be identical so people see us as one. So we want to be identical in how we wear it. In corrections, if you have an officer that chooses to be sloppy with that uniform, shirt out, just a mess, inmates are going to target that individual because inmates will not see that individual in the same light as they see the other officers who wear their uniform the way it's supposed to be worn. That means the officer's sloppiness has broken him away from the solidarity of the group. That's why it's very important that we dress the same and look the same, because it promotes us as one entity. But the difference between us, corrections and police, in regards to the power of the uniform comes from that initial impression. Now, I'm going to keep this quick, but for police, and again, this is for people that don't deal with police every day and that should have respect for police, we're not conditioned to the uniform. That means when a police officer rolls on the scene, let's say we're getting pulled over, the vehicle, the way the officer comes out, how they present themselves, automatically should get a sense of respect from us. That uniform should carry an immediate sense of authority that kind of protects that officer. It's the officer's first shield. Corrections is slightly different. because the inmates have been conditioned to the uniform. They've been in and out of the system, or they remain in the system, and the uniform doesn't carry as much weight as it would for a police officer who pulls you over and it's your first time really dealing with that officer. Those in corrections, the inmates, could have been through the system multiple times or have been in the system for a long time, and it's no longer about the power of the uniform, it's more about the individual who wears the uniform. I mean, just imagine getting pulled over by the same police officer 30 times in a row in 1 month. Eventually, you're not going to care about that uniform at all. You're just going to be like, hey, my man, what the hell's going on? Because now you're looking past the uniform because you've been conditioned now. The more this officer shows up on the scene, you have been conditioned to that uniform. Now you're looking strictly at the individual. So in corrections, we have kind of lost that power of authority that comes with the uniform. But with that said, we still have the power of solidarity that comes with that uniform. That's why it's very important that we all look as one, that each of us are wearing it the same way, and it promotes that we are one entity, that we are solid. And in an effort of us maintaining our uniform and looking sharp, inmates will have a tougher time to figure out who they're going to target, because one of the first signs for manipulation is how we wear that uniform. And how we wear that uniform will either promote that we're as one with our peers or we're not. So again, just a quick dialogue. Thought you'd find this interesting. As always, the show is Tear Talks for you brave men and women that work that front line. So please, if you haven't, subscribe, interact, engage, share, comment, hit that bell. You know, please, let's get this message out there. Trying to get that venue, trying to get those subscribers. And as always, guys, love you guys. Stay safe.